The 13-year civil war has kept Syria on edge, but even after Assad's ouster, the country remains under siege. As US, Israel and Turkiye relentlessly bomb Syria to protect their own interests.
Missiles screaming through Syrian skies. Fighter jets constantly dropping bombs. Israeli, Turkish and American forces target critical infrastructure and strategic assets. These images released by the Israeli military show targeted strikes on the Syrian Air Force fighter jets and helicopters, as well as weapons manufacturing sites. Israeli military has also launched a ground offensive. Israeli tanks and troops have advanced out of Israeli-held territory in the Golan Heights and pushed into a buffer zone inside Syria. A move Israel said it took to prevent attacks on its citizens. Multiple countries including Saudi Arabia, Qatar and France have condemned the Israeli incursion. The sudden power vacuum left by Assad's dramatic flight to Moscow has triggered an explosive geopolitical response, with each nation pursuing its own calculated objectives. Israel has carried out hundreds of airstrikes in Syria, targeting chemical weapons caches, missile systems and air defense facilities. These are images of destroyed boats and other equipment belonging to the former Syrian Navy in Latakia on Syria's Mediterranean coast. Americans have thrown their weight behind its ally Israel.
When it comes to the actions that Israel has taken, the stated purpose of those actions from the Israelis is to try to make sure that equipment that's been abandoned, military equipment that's been abandoned by the Syrian army, doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Terrorists, extremists, etc.
With Assad gone, Israel is seizing the moment to eliminate potential threats, saying dangerous weapons might fall into rebel hands. However, many fear that Israel might be aiming for a longer military presence. Israel is not the only country bombarding Syria. The US has bombarded over 75 Islamic State-linked targets, including camps and operatives in central Syria. The US claims the strikes aim to prevent ISIS from regrouping. Turkiye too has intensified its actions, using air power to support rebel forces attacking Kurdish-held areas in northern Syria. This has sparked tension with the US as the two NATO allies find themselves backing opposing sides in Syria's fragmented conflict. The United Nations has urgently called for an immediate halt to military actions.
The Secretary General is deeply concerned by the recent and extensive violations of Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Secretary General is particularly concerned over the hundreds of Israeli airstrikes on several locations in Syria, stressing the urgent need to de-escalate violence on all fronts throughout the country.
Syria, devastated by a civil war that claimed 500,000 lives, now faces a new chapter of violence. The struggle for control in the post-Assad era has just begun.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.